Hey Emily, hope you're having a good morning. Today we are going to talk about FastRAD and how to make backup of the system before we continue on replacing hardware to get you caller ID. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what you need to have available before you get started. I'm going to show you why I had you buy that exact FastRAD listing and what those bridge clips do. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what we need to get started, and then we will get started. Okay, so first things first, this is actually the FastRAD, obviously. This is just a telephone cable, and this here is actually what you're going to need to make the connection to the system, to this cable, to this. And then this serial cable here is going to go from this rad to the computer, and then obviously you're going to plug the power into this box here. So I sent you these 66 block bridge clips in the mail, and you're going to need those as well. In lieu of this, I'm just going to use, just a piece of wire. And you're also going to need this guy. If you have a blade that does not look like this in it, it should be a big, nice block. And on one side of it, you should see a little blade. If you have a different one than that, it might be down here in the bottom. There's just push this little button here and it slides out. You want this one. You want the one that's the 66 block blade, and you need the side that has the sharp cutting tool on it. Right here. So we'll go ahead and just put that back in there. I'll do that off the video, and we will go back over to the phone system. One thing I forgot to mention until I got out there is that we are going to need a wiring chart. You see here it says 2 ICS telephone and auxiliary equipment wiring chart. That's for the second connection on the system, and you are going to need this. So you may want to print it out, and I will send it along with the video in the email that I send you. Okay, so here we are at the system. What I want you to do is go ahead and open up the front door. And here you're going to see all your Amphenol connectors. What I want you to do, it's not connected on my system just because this is to test, but on yours, right here, there's one of these cables. What I want you to do is find it and then figure out which block goes to the second connector here. In my case, I'm going to be using block number 1, which is this guy here. Okay, now what we're looking at here is a 66 block, and they call this a split 66 block, and the reason that they call this a split 66 block is because if you look here, you can't really see it very well, but this side moves and this side moves. These two sides are not electrically connected. They're electrically isolated, and the way that you connect them is with a bridge clip. Now be sort of careful. There's a little bit of voltage in here, not enough to hurt you, but you don't want to ground your finger against all the terminals either. So what I want you to do is on your second here, and when you find the 66 block that goes to it, you're going to refer to the wiring chart, and I want you to put it, probably what somebody did is on the last one up here somewhere, number 5. And when we look at these, we're looking at pairs, so 2 of these is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For every 5, there's an indent in the block. Probably what somebody did was they put your StarTalk voicemail unit on the last pair of the second block. So what I want you to do is find out wherever the last connection is on this guy and go up 1. On my block, it's all the way down here. On your block, it's going to be all the way up here. And like I said, I will give you a wiring chart to refer to. So you're going to find that little block that's got the wiring sticking out of it and is wrapped around the side of it. and you're gonna take it and you're gonna pull some wiring apart from it. So what I want you to do is, I'll go ahead and undo this here real quick. Okay, now the way this works is if you look at these clips here, they have a little tooth on them. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the solid one on the second pair and a striped one on the top pair. This is a little difficult to do with one hand, but we'll figure it out. So then what you're going to do is you're going to push it down into the block, and then wrap it around the tooth like so. I'll show you here very clearly what I'm looking for in a second. You want to make sure it's firmly in its little tooth. There you go. So that's what you should have. It should be in its tooth, in its guide, so that you can make the connection well with your set of 66 pliers. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, oops, and we're going to use this tool. And we need this tool to have the blade wherever the end of the wire is. You don't want it on this side of the wiring. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it down over top of it, and then we're just going to push down. Oops, I didn't do it right. 1 second. Okay, that's better. Sorry about that. So now that they're firmly in their teeth, you're going to take your tool and you're going to push down. You're going to push down all the way twice on each block. And then you're going to take the slack and you're going to peel it off. You'll end up with a little piece of wire that just falls off the end there. And this one didn't cut nicely, so if it doesn't cut nicely, you can always just do it again. There you go. Okay, now you've got your nice little connection there, and you can see she's punched down nice. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to actually make the connection with the PBX. Right now, it's just connected to this side of the block, but it's not connected to this side of the block. So those bridge clips that I sent you, you're going to need to find those. And mine are right here. So then what you're going to do is you're going to just push them on the 2 center pins there. And voila, now your connection is made. So then what you're going to do, in your case, you're going to connect that phone cord to the little box, and then you're going to connect the other end of that phone cord to this little box. But I don't have one of those little boxes, so I'm just using a piece of wiring. Then you're going to take this guy, and you're going to connect it to your FastRad. Okay? And then you're going to power it up. And in order to do that, we need a power supply. So, got that. Little red light should turn on right there. And then you're going to wait a little bit. Just give it about 2 minutes. It has to initialize and talk to the system first. And while it's doing that, you'll want to head back to your desk so that you can program from your phone. We have to initialize the FastRad before we can actually use it with a computer. Okay, now we're back at the phone. And what I want you to do is go ahead and push feature 9 star star. This is say password. You're going to go ahead and change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would just make them all zeros, then you can easily remember it that way. It's going to ask you to confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Password changed. Next, rad admin, and alarm, auto report off, report line 1, alarm number 1, 2, number of retries, alarm baud high, parity none, data, auto answer off, answer line 1, answer delay, local baud 9600. And so now your RAD should be initialized with the system properly. So we're going to go ahead and hit release. And then we're going to hook the RAD up to the computer.